Alright, let's get back to cracking this testimony. So. It's waiting for that night for Regina. Doesn't change the fact that they saw Max. Showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night?
Of course, that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time.
I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina.
He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence.
Hold it!
You're 100% absolutely sure of what you just said.
I told you already. Jeez, I am absolutely 100% sure. There's no way they could be any more confident than that, right?
Hold it!
Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh?
Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask me again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now.
Circus, Luke.
White roses. Thank you very much.
Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you?
But it's fun shouting out with everyone else.
Silk hat, white roses, cape. But there's gotta be, like, other symbols as well, that's the thing.
Hold it! Hold it!
About what time would you say these events took place?
You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you could do that. Now, what time was it?
Indeed, what time was it?
What time was it? Let me think about that for a second.
Youch! I'm no good at math. It was 10 p.m.
Oh, yes, that sounds about right.
It sounds about right because that's the time that I saw Max on the scene.
Hold it!
So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night.
You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You said good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You've got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trilo. You say good evening at night.
I'm sorry, Trilo.
Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept the ventriloquist act outside the courtroom.
Impossible. A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better.
There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Isn't that a bit strange to you?
What do you mean?
Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange.
Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers?
Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand.
Ouch!
That hurt!
Maybe you should think of having some proof before your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school.
There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. Well, how do I go about proving that with the evidence?
Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one.
I guess I could give it a shot.
The witness will resume his testimony.
I hate to say it, but Ben's part of your little act is coming off a little stale. I'm sure that if a pro was—
Ouch! You're not trying to pass yourself off as a professional performer, are you?
I mean, she should— why is she angry? She should be amused.
Don't get yourself wrapped up in yourself, Mr. Phoenix, right? You should know better.
Ouch!
Ow, that hurts. That should have set him straight. You may proceed with your testimony, witness.
Maybe it's a major hint that this statement is actually like— this statement, is actually the one statement that we have to, like, I don't know. It probably is the statement, to be honest. He said good evening, but he didn't acknowledge the presence. Let me save my game first, because I want to test something. I want to test one of the pieces of evidence.
Objection!
The music kept on playing. The music kept on playing because I know my audio cues. Situational awareness. Situational awareness.
Hold it! Hold it! Hold it!
So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up.
You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me?
4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose.
Yikes, the judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trilo.
Objection!
This is out of a whim, but I think this will work. Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder?
A fight?
A fight over Regina, to be exact.
It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument. A disagreement at most.
A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting conked over the head.
Ah!
That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he?
What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Ouch.
Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first.
The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just sit up and say good evening to his rival. Ooh, even Phoenix admitted the puppet is lewd.
Ah!
Objection!
Are you saying this witness is lying? That he's trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene? I didn't do a single lie, honestly. I just...
That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night?
Sure, let's save first. He did not see Maxica. He saw a different person. It is my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to.
What kind of theory is that?
The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all.
What?
If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica, because Maximilian was waiting back in the Ringmaster's room, correct? That is why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw during that evening. Or good evening, as he put it.
What in the world? You?
Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trilo saw that evening then?
There's no other answer. It has to be the Ringmaster.
Take that!
Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet.
It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute.
No, Your Honor, it's not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present.
Oh, yeah. I suppose you got a point there.
It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not?
You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was not the victim, but the Ringmaster, Russell Berry. Oh, it's not the defendant, I mean. That's why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correcto, Mundo? Answer the question, Mr. Quist.
Order, order. How do you respond to this?
Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica.
Yeah, he's clearly lying. He doesn't have a confident answer.
I think it is high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the Ringmaster, Mr. Russell Berry?
I really need to turn off these alerts.
The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols.
3 symbols?
Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone all together now. Ow! Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses.
Objection!
A silk hat and a cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me.
What was that?
Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry.
What?
There's one Karma. Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant?
Well, I...
If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point.
Yes! I think we finally won a point in this one.
That is very unfortunate.
Huh?
You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, right?
What do you mean by that?
You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but...
But...
Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of a doubt, an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime.
I guess we have to shoo away the ventriloquist then.
Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare the next witness. Court is now in recess.
That actually swam a little bit more, like much more smoothly than I expected, honestly. And the bottle thing was totally on a whim. Like, I just threw a guess at it because, like, I remember that they had a fight and everything. And what do you know? It just worked. It just worked, ladies and gents. One second, I just need to double check Discord for something. I actually posted a help request. Alright, anyways. December 29th, 11:54 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, numero 5. So, sweetie, you have to believe me. I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene.
So then, where were you when the murder took place?
We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back.
That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right?
That's what it seems like.
The ringmaster must be wearing Max's costume, right?
Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room still dressed in my stage clothes. When I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off.
Which means...
It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! That's a fabulously possible possibility.
Well done, Nick.
However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all he found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double,
Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something.
Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up. Magician or president? You have no idea how hard it was to make such a decision.
That's really cool.
Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. December 29th, 12:16 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Blah 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 blah.
Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Ms. Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case.
Very well. I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the
Unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire oh, frick. Ah, frick. We're gonna have one of the most ridiculous witnesses in the history of Ace Attorney history of all witnesses. Oh boy.
Will Mr. Lawrence Curls please take the stand?
Why did she just call him a pitiful clown? Oh no.
The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record.
Just for the record, guys, let me just bring up a meme that pretty much sums up what's gonna happen for the next bits and pieces of this case. Because I kid you not, it is real. It's an actual thing. It's an actual meme. But it's pretty much what's gonna be happening. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm very displeased by this. I'm sorry, folks.
Are you all right? Yes. No, you are all left.
This is not going to go down well.
And was Clownpedia born and raised in... Name and occupation.
It's clearly like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference, honestly.
Would the witness please inform the court why he's speaking autobiographical gibberish?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life.
I wasn't so sure what joke is best suited to this sort of... Oh my god, just say the truth and nothing but the truth.
What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court.
Oh, yeah, maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service.
I'm not gonna bother doing his...
Boy.
Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist? Dr. Seymour Butts. How was that one? When a couple clowns are up to no good, start making trouble with them. Your name? Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown. You witnessed the scene at around 15 p.m. the day of the murder, correct? Yes it is.
Very well, Mr. Crows, will you please testify to what you saw that evening?
A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafari walked into the plaza.
Without a humor, please.
Okay.
Aw, poor Mo can't be his normal stoogy self in court.
I know, I'm not the greatest comedian though. Oh no. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? How am I doing?
That's not even a testimony. Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here?
Witness? Huh? We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick to the facts of this case. Really? You hear me out? Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later. Thank you. I can't wait.
Poor gumshoe.
Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony?
Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want.
Okay, here's the actual testimony.
The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. I have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. But I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now.
Of course you can. There's no way that this account can be criticized.
However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him.
And that must be because of my sincere smile.
Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, you've got to find some kind of contradiction in his testimony.
I know that.
Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
I'm afraid if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber rattling.
I understand, Your Honor.
If you cause this clown to stay away from the facts, I'll hold you responsible.
Am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes.
Hold it!
Let's just say first, in case actually we get penalized for something. Because I have a feeling this is a time where we will get penalized.
Objection!
The music kept on playing, but here's the thing, like if Max clonked the ringmaster over the head, how is the oh my god. How is there supposed to be like one set of footprints? How is there one set of footprints when he says that there's two people? Hold on, wrong game. All right. Let's take a look carefully. Let's not rush to conclusions, even though I do want to rush through this clown case.
Hold it!
You say you clearly saw this, even though you were by your own mission far away. That's right. I have been thinking about it over and over since that night. But things didn't really make sense until I spoke with the prosecutor, Miss Von Karma. But now I'm 100% certain that it was Max and the ringmaster that I saw that night. Just think about it. How could I be wrong if Max is always wearing his uppity symbols? Uppity symbols? Lawyers nowadays, do you even have to go to school anymore to be one? All right, everyone knows what to do. All together now, say it with Uncle Bo. See what I mean? It's always like this. The crowd never wants to go along with me. I must really be utterly and completely worthless as a clown. Yowza!
Enough foolishness. Get back on track.
Would a witness please testify as to what he saw and only what he saw?
Hold it!
You say you saw the ringmaster get clonked over the head? Yes, I did. It's the climax of my story. He really does enjoy the completely random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with? You mean the weapon? I have no idea. The weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right? That's not what I meant. You did say you did see everything, didn't you? Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no, I didn't. I didn't see a weapon. Bo, did you or did you not see this crime of murder committed that night?
Objection!
I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You'd better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor clown. Because if you don't, you know what is waiting for you? A nice penalty.
Well, isn't this a bit melodramatic?
So what will it be then, Mr. Phoenix, right? Do you have any clear basis to believe that my witness did not see the crime?
Of course I do.
Of course I have grounds to make this claim.
Then let's hear it.
That's something I can't share with you at this time.
What did you just say, Mr. Wright?
I know there's something wrong with this testimony, but I can't put why I feel this way into words for the judge.
Maybe we should get a bit more information. Once we find something more solid, we can give it another shot.
Yeah, you're right. That's a very thick testimony. Penalty. That penalty really be...
Extra thick!
If only I could actually properly... I can't believe, like, Streamlabs can't be able... Not Streamlabs. This capture card software can't be registered as a game thing. There's no... And then you have to, like, use desktop capture for this. It's very upsetting because it, like, brings up whatever desktop features you're using. It's not friendly at all. I mean, if I have a team, I would, like, further finalize the software, but this is because this is still a beta software and it's never been finalized.
Hi, how are you?
Pokemon are real. Hey, what's up, Kiba? Yeah, there are some creatures that prove that Pokemon are real. Oh. Why would you say they're a bit far away when according to the circus map?
Objection!
Oh, come on. He claimed he saw the crime appear from far away, but he was on the first floor. Yellow Penguin? Ooh, now that is a Pokemon indeed. Electric Ice type. Or it could be a shiny, that's true, it could be a shiny.
Hold it!
Well, let me try something. So, if I go through this whole clonking thing, and I say no...
Objection!
It's still... Oh my god. That was such a baited moment. We still got penalized, but only by a tiny chunk. Okay, so... I don't exactly remember what he said yesterday, however. I think he has been saying things that are different than what he said yesterday. I thought I'd go straight to sleep before I did. Most of the stuff he said in the beginning was mostly correct.
Hold it!
My room is here, and they were about yay big. I see they're about 30 feet from the window.
Just 30 feet? That's not far at all.
It was snowing that night, and it cut down on visibility.
I see. Please continue with your testimony regarding the two shadows that you saw.
Okay, so the map would not work at all.
Hold it! Hold it!
You just happened to glance out at the window?
You could say that. You could also say I peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeped, eyeballed.
Mr. Curls.
Oh, I guess my synonyms aren't allowed either.
What should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue. Exactly why did you look out of your window that night?
Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their windows, do they?
That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday...
Once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump.
Oh, he didn't see it happening. He heard the thump and then he went over to the window. There's the contradiction.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You forgot?
Your Honor, the witness looked out of his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out of his window that night.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I?
Oh, that's not something you just forgot to mention.
Yeah, what she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony.
Very well, Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony.
This should start turning the tables in our favor.
I heard a huge noise coming outside the window, and that's what made me look outside.
Well, at least we got something. Because now I remember, he heard the thump, and upon hearing the thump, that's when he looked out the window.
Hold it!
What was the sound like?
Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say.
Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary.
Oh, Joe, how'd you know I was gonna make a joke? I guess that does sound like a... I suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yep, that's what it sounded like, honestly.
Someone getting hit, huh?
What then? You went to look out the window and you saw...
That's when I saw two silhouettes that were far away, though.
Hold it!
You were pooped that night?
Yes, I was very, very tired, not to mention I had some bad Mexican food.
What?
The double cheese, double bean enchilada is a dangerous menu item. What happened after that, as they say, happens. That one was cool, huh? I hear the kids really love toilet humor these days.
No. That joke was so hip, I don't want to ruin it with a reply. Why do I get penalized? The clown was the one who made the joke. That was totally not fair. I didn't have to deserve a penalty. If you weren't to penalize someone, penalize the damn clown.
Objection!
So he saw two silhouettes that night. But the crime scene photo says otherwise because there was only one person. And we've established that the ringleader was wearing Max's costume. Oh my god, Windows Update, could you please?
Hold it! Objection!
I've got a great reason to make my claim.
I suppose you will be telling us all that great reason?
Of course I will. The reason is the witness's very own testimony. Aha!
What is the meaning of that, Mr. Wright?
Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit.
He did say that.
However, Mo just stated the following under oath.
I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head.
If Mo is to be believed when he says he looked out the window upon hearing a sound, there's no way that he could have seen Max clonk anyone.
In 1972, a crack clown unit blah 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 blah.
Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment?
They did commit. No, these clowns probably escaped from maximum security clown car.
Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court?
No, I'm just stalling for time while I jog for memory.
Great job, Nick.
these types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of the clown makeup to find the truth.
Well,
You're back from your jog.
well, it pretty much happened the way I said.
Pretty much.
When I looked out my window that night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. The prosecution helped me fill in the gaps of my statement.
One karma. Tampering with witnesses again.
So now you are saying that you did not see the defendant clunk the ringmaster.
Yes. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster had already checked out.
Checked out?
Yep, he was on permanent vacation, as they say.
Mr. Cross,
Your Honor?
you did not witness the actual crime, however. You still say you saw the criminal, correct?
Yes, exactly. The ringmaster was slumped over and I saw someone's silhouette next to him.
Very well, then please testify to the silly what you saw. I expect the truth. If I even catch a hint of a joke from you, I will put you in a holding cell until you learn court etiquette. Got it?
Oh, got it.
Okay, so we didn't even need to present evidence, that previous one. Okay.
It was a bit far away, but that shadow could only have belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. His silk hat, that black cloak, they were all there. His face was silhouetted, but there is no doubt that it was him. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying.
It does seem as if the defendant was at the scene of the crime.
It took the clown long enough to get his facts straight. But whatever, this should finally be good enough, yes?
It is decisive testimony.
Was Max really at the same crime scene that night?
He said he wasn't there. We have to believe in that.
All right, Mr. Wright, commence your cross-examination.
Oh, it's not all of his symbols were there. We have to present the poster. I have to prove that Mo saw someone other than Max that night. The cloak is not black, for crying out loud. The cloak is a different color. He said the color incorrectly. Objection! You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols?
I suppose so. The silk hat and the cloak, right?
Mo, everyone knows that Maximilian Galactica has 3 uppity symbols.
3 symbols?
Yeah, everyone get ready, all together now.
Silk hat, cloak, white roses.
What the?
Who cares if he knew that there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw, and he saw the symbols. He just forgot to mention one. Isn't that right, Mo?
Do you like pie? I love pie. 3.141592653.
Silence, fool. You are to respond with the whole truth, no fractions.
Order, order.
Mo, you didn't see the roses, did you?
To be honest, there weren't any roses on the person I saw.
Objection!
The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see that kind of detail.
Objection!
But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face. Not to mention that the roses are white. There's no way he could have missed them. On top of that, there was lighting outside the rooms.
Objection!
And the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim.
If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene.
Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to the facts of this case?
Good thing I was able to catch that very quickly. I'm catching contradictions and pressing on a bit more quickly than I usually am.
Clearly not. He's just toying with the court.
I got her on the ropes now. These seemingly insignificant facts have never failed to lead me to the truth yet. Someone is toying with the court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trilo's testimony?
There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. How could you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? How could you mistake someone wearing such a snobby 3-piece getup?
Trilo saw them all. Trilo saw all 3 of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims that there were no white roses on the person he saw. There's absolutely no doubt that this is a contradiction.
Now what am I supposed to think? One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this...
Judge, forget the roses. Think about his other testimony. The witness has stated that without a doubt that he saw Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else matters. Let's wrap this case up now.
Your Honor, it may be trivial, but it does cast doubt on the prosecution's case.
Frankly, I have my doubts about this witness. It seems that unlike wine, this witness has now grown more mature with age.
I'm not mature.
I've come to a conclusion. I'm 99% certain that this witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is quite reasonable. Which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony. Oh, crap.
For what?
If there are no contradictions in this next statement, I am prepared to issue a ruling.
A ruling.
Nick, this is your last chance.
Oh God, here we go.
There's no doubt in my mind. There were no white roses that night. However, all the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Especially the silk hat. There's no way I could forget seeing the decorations on it. He was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene.
Mr. Wright, you've got one last chance at this.
Just one chance?
I will not allow even the slightest hint of badgering against this witness. If you're going to prove me there's a contradiction with Mr. Curls' statement, you better have at least a shred of evidence to back up your accusations.
I've only got a single shot as this. I've got to be careful. I understand, Your Honor. One chance is all I will need. There's no way I'm going to lose after coming this far. There's gotta be an answer. It's probably in the court record. Alright. It looks like I only have like one chance at this. And I think it will lead on to the next part of the investigation, I think. So that way we can actually resume the, resume the next trials. Whew. For another point in time.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, what's good, James? Mo, be honest. Ow! I'm gonna present the hat because he said decorations. There's only one decoration. There's a feather. That. I don't know if that will work or not, but I'll try and see if that will work.
Objection!
Nope, the music kept on playing.
Hold it!
So we can't press in this case. We have to present evidence. This is a time and place where we do have to present evidence, and I don't know if I can actually figure this out on my own without looking at a guide. Now would be a good time to think about it. What the heck am I missing here? What the heck is missing in my logic?
Objection!
I knew the hat has to be a piece of evidence, but let's try this statement. This wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it?
Yup, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night.
No question in your mind.
Exactly how would one mistake a thing like that?
I see.
Is there some sort of problem, Mr. Wright?
Miss Von Karma, where exactly was the silk hat found?
As you always ask these questions, it was found at the crime scene. Crime scene? That means...
The silk hat fell off at the crime scene. However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated that he was wearing it the entire time that he was on the scene.
No, that's not true.
Order, order, order. Mr. Curls,
Yes, Your Honor.
what is the meaning of all of this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in court.
Hey, that's just not right. That's so harsh.
What's not right here is your eyesight, your memory, amongst other things.
Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do? Let me guess. You just didn't like my jokes or something, right? You didn't have to go in and steal my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously, why? Just because you're sitting above me doesn't mean I know how old I gotta be older than you. What?
Did this clown really have to go?
Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Curls. Who do you think you are?
I saw him. I swear I saw him. It was Max. Even if he didn't have his roses, he was still wearing his dumb silk hat. I'm telling the truth.
He's turned into a bratty little kid.
It's pitiful, isn't it?
He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there.
He left the scene?
What's the matter, Nick?
There's something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo?
What do you want?
You just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did he leave the scene of the crime?
What? He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? You can't ask me that.
Objection!
Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering the witness, Your Honor.
Objection!
This witness's testimony is so full of holes, Ms. Von Karma's protest is useless.
You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that all right with you, little guy?
Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby. Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave this crime scene? The answer's obvious.
He just turned around and walked away on the contrary? Here's the thing, though. If you say the dude walked away, then where the heck are the second set of footprints here? And above all else, you should know your coworker well. That's what I expected you to say. You sure that's how it happened?
Say what?
I'm not sure I know exactly where you're going with this. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things.
Do you have any proof to counter his story as to how the criminal left the scene? Obviously the crime photo.
Take that!
Look at this picture. Look at this photograph. The problem is the footprints in the snow.
Footprints?
In this photo, we can clearly see the footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal's footprints? They aren't there.
Ay, 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 ay.
So, Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Your Honor, this witness has clearly proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike all of this witness's testimony from the court record.
I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown car he came to court in.
Wait just a second. You guys can't just ignore everything I've said. Fine, I'll tell you the truth this time.
You wait a second. I think you've said more than enough for today.
That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyways. I'll give you the real deal this time, I swear.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling things are gonna get worse before they get better.
Mr. Lawrence Curls,
Yes?
the testimony you've provided up until now has been false.
It wasn't been false. I haven't lied. It's just
what?
I was just a bit confused on the bit about the criminal leaving the scene. Especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw.
Again, with the not able to talk about what you really saw?
Order, order. I will have order.
That's also a Zhong Li line, too. I will have order. This is order.
Franziska von Karma, how could you?
Your Honor, if you had heard the truth from this witness, you would have exactly the same opinion as I would have.
What opinion is that?
It's not funny.
That's enough out of you. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Now then, let's hear the truth about what you say you saw, Mr. Curls.
Huh, you're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I tell you.
Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel.
Okay, this better be the last part of the testimonies for today.
Now it's time for our next segment, Mo Knows. Everything that I've said up until now has been the truth. When I looked out the window, the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing the silk hat. That's what I saw. This is the truth now. Get ready for it. He flew. He jumped up and flew through the air. He flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. That's why there were no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints.
I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now?
Well, that was, how do you put this into words?
Maximilian Galactica is a world-class magician. But to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened.
You were right.
Why is she right? You believe the other witnesses. Why won't you believe me? Especially since this is the best part of the story.
To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of a flying criminal. What do you think about this witness's testimony, Mr. Wright?
What he just said was so strange, I don't think he would have made it up.
Which means that he is telling the truth?
That's what I think.
Nick, wait. That means that Max actually used magic.
Yikes, you're right. Ow!
Only a foolish-looking fool could be foolish, fooled by a foolish fool's foolish dream.
I'm gonna add that as a quote.
Don't be so ridiculous. Magic does not exist.
I suppose I will let you all in on my thinking regarding this matter. The criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that. But I just can't wrap my head around how that could actually happen.
You imbecile.
If you disregard the need for proof, Ms. Von Karma's case is sound. However, I've got the feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It's an undisputed fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind this mystery of mysteries. I believe that's enough for today. Court is adjourned.
December 29th, 2:33 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 5. Gee whiz, this has gone ridiculous.
Hey, sweeties, what in the world is going on?
That's what I want to know.
They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared.
Max, I can't believe I'm asking this, but you didn't fly that night, did you?
I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please. It's not that easy.
But it looks so effortless for you on stage.
It's not that simple. It's not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air.
Wow, you just told me the secret to your magic.
No, I broke the first rule. The cardinal rule. The only rule.
I'm sorry, Max. We made you break a magician's creed to never reveal the secret to their tricks.
Nick, what do we do now?
All we can do now is hope we find the flying criminal in court tomorrow.
Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker.
Let's do our best and catch this sucker. Ay. Alright, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna permit, like, a bit more time just for the sake of investigation. However, if I were to, like, return to this case either tomorrow or Sunday, we're gonna get on with the trial and just wrap it up. And you know what's more of a doozy? The next case, Kaiser dude. It's got a bunch of twists and turns that I don't really want to, like, get into too much details about. But I know I'm probably not going to be able to finish, like, the last case in one go. For sure. Let me save right here for now. But I will permit a bit more time so we can actually wrap up the investigation, because I have a feeling you might as well, like, spend a bit more a juicy amount of time to get the investigation out of the way, get the evidence out of the way, if I can't figure things out, because yesterday I had a brain fart that I literally forgot you could present people's profiles in this game, then, we're just going to be sucking up, like, extra minutes that we really could have put towards, like, getting stuff done. What was it? Something about catching a sucker? I'll add the quote later, actually, now that I think about it. Okay. December 29th, 303, Bright and Company Law Offices.
Nick,
What is it?
I've got a confession to make. I'm terrible at figuring out magic tricks.
Magic tricks?
Magic tricks are by their very definition tricks, right? But I can't ever figure out the tricks when I see them.
That's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so he can't guess the trick.
But the trick Pearlie showed me was incredible.
Pearls did a magic trick? What kind of trick was it?
Let's see. You look like she pulled the end of her own thumb off.
Heh.
Or she put her right thumb next to her left hand, then it just separated. She could move it up and down and everything. It was incredible.
Really? Was it kind of like this?
What? How'd you do that? Nick, you're like a real magician.
Well, that's actually an easy trick to actually fool people with. So, yeah, this is a very easy trick to actually fool people with. I don't know if this is, like, the right way to do it. When it looks like you're pulling your thumb off and it just... However, in order for it to do it properly, you actually have to, like, put your, like, your fists together in, like, the correct way to make it look like that one of your finger's thumbs is actually the other hand's thumb, so... I was able to figure that out a little bit quickly. Little kid me was able to actually get amazed by it at first, but that was an old trick in the book.
See, this is why I just can't figure out whip magic, and I'm no good at it. Besides, hard tricks, especially like flying away from the scene of a murder.
You'll take all the fun out of magic if you keep trying to figure it out. Okay. Alright, I need to take another intermission. I gotta, like, keep on rehydrating. I gotta grab more evidence. Because if anything, we need to get the rest of this out of the way so we can finally wrap it up before the weekend ends. And then get ourselves ready for the final case of Justice for All. Ugh, my god. You know what I also realized? Maximilian Galactica is the only dude with a psych lock. I feel like there's gotta be another psych lock coming up. So give me a moment, folks. I will be right back, and in a jiffy. And hopefully we should be able to wrap up the investigation pretty soon.